Round 2 of the AFL kicking off this weekend, and because he was the man who tipped the Gold Coast Suns to knock off St Kilda in the opening round, we're giving Marc Dragicevic, former Richmond player, another shot at the dice. And of course St Kilda taking on Richmond on Friday night. Were you at all nervous last week when the Tigers, they led by 8 goals and almost blew it?
Oh, look, I was nervous 5-10 minutes in when it was 3 goals to none, but then I thought, hang on, the first 2 games have gone 3 goals to none, and the other teams have come back, and the Tigers are really impressive in that middle 2 quarters. They ran out of steam in the end, but you could see what they could do.
Can they repeat it this Friday night?
I definitely think so. The Saints are just out of sync at the minute. Their guns aren't firing. Their youngsters aren't coming through. The Gold Coast showed them up, and well, pretty much Gary Ablett did, but yeah, I can't see them beating the Tigers.
I heard someone say during the week that Rewalt's out of nick. Bad pun, but it's probably quite correct.
It is true, and Kazitsky's not even there anymore, so yeah, there's a bit of a changing of the guard there at the Saints.
Yeah, they worry me a little bit. Sydney take on the Gold Coast, and normally you would say this is a walk-up start for the Swans, who did what they had to do, and we thought that they would. But they'll need to step up against the Gold Coast Suns, who've now all of a sudden got a little bit of confidence.
Well, they will, and I mean, that performance from Gary Ablett is sensational.
Yeah.
It was freakish, and the Swans, I mean, they'll, again, they just show that they just do what they've got to do, and they'll probably do that against the Gold Coast as well.
I would think so. Bulldogs take on Fremantle. The Bulldogs at home, the most impressive winners on the weekend for mine, because no one gave them a hope.
I agree. Fremantle won't allow that much space that Eddie had. They'll close them down a bit more, but it was good to see Brett Goods, great game on debut. Nick Lower kept Rich to 8 possessions, so good signs for the Bulldogs. Freo, though, just probably will squeeze them.
What do you do with Brisbane and Adelaide? Both disappointing first-round losers. Who are you tipping in this game?
Oh, who do I tip? Adelaide, I think, just has the class. Brisbane fooled us with their pre-season form.
Yes.
Like I said, in the middle, they'll smash at the clearances, and Adelaide will want Thompson and Dangerfield to lift.
Okay, Port should be too good for the GWS on Saturday, of course. No arguments from anyone there. Essendon take on Melbourne in a very interesting game. You'd think Essendon, interesting by the fact that it should be more than 100 points. And then Geelong take on North Melbourne, the battle of the Scott boys.
Yes, I mean, I heard some pre-season that they were doing drills together, so the brothers have stuck together, and
the winner buys dinner? Or
the winner buys dinner, I don't know what it is, but I think the winner will be Geelong this week.
And you can't get a ticket to it. Collingwood versus Carlton. I'm in the Pies corner. What corner are you in?
I was in the Blues. I'm going to Pies with bets out in Hampson.
What about Hawthorn? Can they bounce back from that disappointing loss? The Kennett curse continues?
The Kennett curse, it's just a mental thing. The wide open spaces of Patterson, I think the Eagles will look to bounce back, losing 2 in a row at home.
Yeah, it doesn't look to be too many upsets on paper this weekend. Only early doors in the AFL, of course, after an interesting first round. We're into round 2, and it's all happening in one weekend, which is good as well. You want the odds? Go to centrebet.com for all the latest and greatest, and we'll see you next week for more of AFL Round 3.